city of Ibadan. Follow us for top-notch news and entertainment updates. Don't miss a thing. So, pick up your phone and follow us on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your number one online Southwest radio. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number one online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio.
Good morning, dear listeners out there. You're welcome to yet another interesting edition of Newspaper Review, coming to you live from our station here in the city of Ibadan. My name is Olamide Adeniji, and we decided to take a different route this morning. We decided to bring the Yoruba version before the English version. And so I'm taking stories from Daily Independent newspaper, which has been our daily guide many times, on the newspaper review here at the Power 365 online radio. Okay, so I have this first headline which says federal government asks Labour to settle for what won't lead to mass retrenchment. NLC faults Tinubu's speech, says no agreement with federal government yet. Recounts how they were intimidated, harassed by government officials. Says their demand remains 250,000 naira. APC assures Nigerians of better days ahead. APC can't win next election except through rigging, party chieftain. Says Nigerians believe Tinubu is one-term president. Governance grounded in Niger as governor, 70% of cabinet depart for Hajj. They went to pray for the state. Governor Mba breaks 19-year jinx as NMCN OK's internship indexing for ESUT, other schools of nursing. Some governors encouraging youths to be criminals to rig election. That's coming from former President Goodluck Jonathan. Court didn't declare pro-Wike lawmakers PDP members, Rivers AG. Only new constitution will stop Nigeria from collapse. That's coming from Anyoku. And this is also saying lead with integrity, but people first can urge leaders. They keep urging and urging and urging. Lagos agency partners ROLAC on procurement process. Democracy Day, don't be disillusioned. Ayedatiwa appeals. Governor Bago hails ex-lawmaker Robinson Uwak. Democracy Day, Akobundu calls for defense of democratic rule. Federal government unveils beyond disability project for people with disabilities. Only democracy can provide Nigeria with needed development. And also, this is saying, Democracy Day, police arrest peaceful protesters in Lagos, Ibadan, Kano. Rivers, First Lady presents 10 million naira checks to 20 female farmers. Oyo begins verification of land titles along industrial areas. Okay. Bauchi Auditor General raises critical observation in MDA's reports. Governor Mba breaks 19-year. Okay, I read that to you earlier. And then this is saying, this is also saying, just a minute. Okay, let's go to the Metro corner. This is saying, I sell human skulls to raise money to pay my mother's hospital bills. Suspect. June 12, Governor Abiodun commutes death sentences of 45 inmates to jail terms, pardon 41 others. Police bust cartel dealing, armed robbery gang in Abuja. Air Force neutralizes 29 bandits, frees kidnapped victims in Katsina. FJ won't lose anything if Nnamdi Kanu is released. Madubuke. And then this is saying, IIF partners leap Africa to spotlight outstanding impact heroes. Digital transformation spend may eat $4 trillion by 2027. Okay, the actual headline is digital transformation spend may hit $4 trillion by 2027. 4 FUNAB graduate agripreneurs win 1.5 million naira each at BATN Foundation Awards. Again, Adelabu justifies electricity tariff hike. Edun suggests how to fix Nigeria's power sector. Finance Minister advocates liquidity in power sector. Alright, that's also on the Abuja business page of the Daily Independent. And there's a saying, Airtel Africa taps Network International for payment processing. That's on page 21 of the Daily Independent. And then what defection ruling in Rivers means for future political dynamics. That's on page 23 of the Daily Independent. And then let's go to page 25 of the Daily Independent, which is saying, June 12, Kogi youths commend Tinubu Ododo over commitment to democracy. Democracy Day remain hopeful under Tinubu's administration, Hali tells Nigerians. 25 years after, Nigeria yet to experience true democracy. Asenyi of Isenyi pays royal visit to Oni of Ife. Pella calls for more united, stronger Nigeria. June 12 symbolizes the resilience of our democratic spirit. Oyo Assembly seeks improved security in tertiary institutions. Governor Rada calls for unity, tolerance, support to overcome nation's challenges. Federal government cross-river deepen cooperation to address illegal mining. Warri will regain glory if I'm given mandate to become council chairman. That's coming from Agba Tenyiniro. Oh, well, I'm sorry if I murdered that name. Federal government should ensure single-digit interest rate tax reduction to encourage firms. That's coming from Nasima. And then federal government promises better deal for investors in 2024 oil bid round. Alright, to the next story. The next story is saying APC diaspora chieftain urges Nigerians not to lose hope. Oh, okay, we won't lose hope. Youth Democracy Forum highlights rising authoritarian trends in Nigeria. Ogun kicks off food distribution to vulnerable people. Federal government asks Labour to settle for what won't lead to mass retrenchment. And then on the sports corner, congratulations to our dear shooting stars. Shooting stars, up shooting, up stars, up shooting, up stars. Okay, so shooting stars won Rangers International yesterday at home at the Adamasigba Stadium in Ibadan. All right, so let me quickly go to one or two of the stories where I'll read the first one or two paragraphs to you. But before I do that, let me quickly take a break and then I'll return.
This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number one online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight.
Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM.
Okay, so you're welcome back. Let me bring my first story from the front page of the Daily Independent, which is coming from Chief Emeka Anyoko, former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, who said that only a new constitution will stop Nigeria from tottering towards an eventual collapse. He noted that a new Nigeria People's Democratic Constitution must be for the pluralistic Nigeria to survive. Alright, this is saying, the other story I'm bringing here is saying court didn't declare pro-Wike lawmakers PDP members. The River State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Dagogo Israel Iboroma, SAN, has clarified that the State High Court neither declared nor affirmed Martin Amewule as Speaker of the House of Assembly, stressing that the certified true copy of the court's judgment validates government's position. Mr. Iboroma also urged media practitioners to desist from giving interpretations to court judgments by fiat, emotional, or other shades of persuasions. He advised that they should first obtain the judgment in order to read it thoroughly to gain proper understanding, or at best. Okay. I think what I can pick out of this is that many of the journalists that report court cases are not specialized in court reportage. And as a journalist myself, I know that there is what we call specialism and generalism in in reporting or in journalism. There are some fields, there are some bits that are actually that specialists are required to report them. Take for instance issues that have to do with court cases, particularly, yes, court cases. I know of some journalists that are lawyers, so they know how to report court matters. I know of some journalists. There's one in Ibadan here, Mr. Adeyemo of a major tier A newspaper in Nigeria. I don't want to mention the newspaper's name, but he's a journalist with a tier A newspaper, and he is a lawyer. So you can't take it from him. When he reports cases, court cases, he reports accurate, and he's not hasty to give reports. I want to beat deadline. No. Journalists should be careful, because from what the Attorney General of Rivers State is saying, then what we read yesterday was far cry from what actually transpired within the four walls of the court. All right, so let's go to the next story. Some governors encouraging youths to be criminals to rig elections. Former President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday alleged that some state governors are encouraging youths to be criminals in order to rig elections for them, carry ballot boxes, knives, and cutlasses to pursue people, rather than becoming assets to society because of politics. The former president made the allegation at the official commissioning of the Edo State Civil Service Secretariat complex reconstructed by Governor Godwin Obaseki. Okay, so that's on page 1 of the Daily Independent. You may pick a copy to read more on that. Democracy Day, don't be disillusioned, Aiyedatiwa appeals. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State on Wednesday appealed to the people of the state not to be disillusioned by the current socio-economic challenges. He said that the phase of hardship in the country will be over very soon. This was the message of the governor to the people of the state on Democracy Day celebration, which held at the Dome, Alagbaka, Akure, the state's capital. Read more of that story. It's on page 2 of the Daily Independent. Alright, let me quickly look for an Oyo State related story. Okay, this is on page 5 of the Daily Independent, coming from Oyo State. Oyo begins verification of land titles along industrial areas. The Oyo State government has commenced the verification of land of title documents within its industrial acquisition all over the state. The enforcement team of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development was led by the Commissioner, Mr. Williams Fumilayo, during a tour of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. He said the joint physical site inspections were conducted to verify and identify developments without formal integration or building plan approval in and around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway industrial acquisition and Oluyole industrial acquisition. Read more of that. And then this is saying Democracy Day. Police arrest peaceful protesters in Lagos, Ibadan, Kano. A coalition of leftist socialist organizations made good their plans to hold nationwide peaceful protests in parts of the country and the Federal Capital Territory on June 12, Democracy Day, demanding a better life for Nigerians. The protests, which were held in parts of the country, saw the arrest of protesters in Lagos, Ibadan, Kano, and parts of the northern states. Saw the arrest of some of the protesters. Some of the leaders who spoke to Daily Independent from the protest ground said they were successful and peaceful without any clash with security forces. Read more of that story. It's on page 5 of the Daily Independent. Okay, so this is coming from Khan to leaders in the country. Lead with integrity, put people first. Khan urges leaders. As Nigeria celebrates Democracy Day, Archbishop Daniel Oko, president of Khan Christian Association of Nigeria, has asked leaders to make sure that our democracy serves the people, not just the interest of a few. Read more of that story. It's on page 7 of the Daily Independent. This is a sad one coming from the metro corner of the Daily Independent. I sell human skulls to raise money to pay my mother's hospital bill. A suspect arrested by the police with 8 human skulls in Iswa Akoko, Ondo State, has confessed to the crime, saying he was trying to raise 2 million naira to pay for his sick mother's treatment in the hospital. Yusuf Adenoyi, 31, told journalists when he was paraded at the police command headquarters at Alagbaka, Akure, that he was into palm oil business, but due to economic downturn, he got introduced to selling of human skulls. That's a sad one. And then this is a relieving story from Ogun State. Governor Abiodun commutes death sentence of 45 inmates to jail terms, pardons 41 others. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has commuted the death sentence of 45 condemned prisoners to prison terms. Abiodun also granted pardon to 41 other inmates serving in different correctional centers across the state. Alright, this is where we're going to call it today. Thank you for staying tuned to Power 365 Online Radio. We love you. Thank you so very much. We're going to bring you more programs later in the day. Until then, to have a blessed day. Bye-bye. My name is Alayande Adenije.
Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM.
Tune in for the rhythms that make you feel alive. And get ready to power up your day every day on Power 365 Radio, broadcasting from the city of